Good morning, everyone. Welcome to a very special video discussion on Hurricane Sandy and the impacts over the next several days. Of course, it is October 27th. It's a Saturday. It's currently 9:12 a.m. And what we have developing here is a very dangerous situation. So let's get right into it. Currently, right now, high pressure is giving away. Clouds are continuing to increase. Our winds are generally light, anywhere from 5 to 15 miles per hour over the Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan area. What you can clearly see here on the infrared satellite pictures, we have a heck of a storm starting to develop over just to the north of the Bahamas. This, of course, is Hurricane Sandy. It's 75-mile-per-hour winds, but I got some interesting data to share with you over the next couple of minutes about just how dynamic this storm is. We also have a very strong cold front here with some rather chilly air behind this cold front. How cold? Well, this storm is also going to feature heavy snow. I'll get to that in a minute. So we clearly have a very dynamic setup developing here. So let's discuss exactly what's evolving here. First, let's talk about Sandy. The convection around Sandy is starting to wrap around the low-level center. Throughout much of yesterday, the center was pretty much located to the south of all the deep convection. Now that deep convection has started to redevelop around the low-level center, and that has allowed Sandy to intensify. How much has Sandy intensified over the past 6 hours? Well, we just got a recon in as of 8 a.m., okay? The pressure has dropped from 969, which it's been waving around 969, 970 throughout the day yesterday, down to 960 millibars. That is a 9 millibar drop in the span of 3 hours. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what you call a bomb, okay? This storm is rapidly intensifying and incredibly impressive considering that winds are 75 miles per hour. Now, why is that interesting? Well, let me show you something here. While Sandy is intensifying, we'll get back to the satellite picture in a moment, take a look at the wind field. This is the wind field observed from the National Hurricane Center of Sandy. Okay, now the red here is the hurricane force winds. The tropical storm winds are the orange. Why is this important? Look at how the tropical force winds have expanded in coverage over the past 24 hours. This is a textbook result of a subtropical storm. Plenty of dynamics suggesting that there's still a warm core low developing here and still a tropical nature type storm. But when you see the wind field expand of this nature, that's a subtropical storm. And it's important to realize that just because the center does not move over your location does not mean you will see damaging winds. And this is basically an illustration of that, with the wind field constantly expanding over 450 miles in radius. And it looks like it's going to continue to expand a little bit more as the storm intensifies. Now, for a very short time, Sandy was knocked down to tropical storm status, is back to a hurricane status because of the winds of 75 miles per hour. But that really is inconsequential. Whether it's 70 or 75, or in my opinion, it could get up to 80 mile per hour sustained winds, the result is the same, which is very damaging, very strong damaging winds for the northern mid-Atlantic as we set up this storm in the next couple of days. So getting back to the satellite picture, you can see right here, convection is developing around the low-level center. Our hurricane is starting to intensify and transition into a subtropical storm. So at this point right now, we basically have a hurricane within a nor'easter. That would be the best way to describe it. Because when you look at the satellite picture of the East Coast, you see this large expansive storm, certainly characteristics of an extratropical storm here, but clearly a tropical center here. And this storm is going to continue to intensify as it moves over the Gulf Stream. How big is this storm? Well, let's take a look at the radar, okay? Precipitation, steady, heavy rain expands from basically the Bahamas all the way up north to North Carolina, and it's starting to push into the coast. Do not be surprised if we start to see a few scattered showers starting to develop. Not anything widespread, but some rogue showers today, especially tomorrow morning, and then everything starts to pick up as we head into the afternoon hours. And this, of course, is our cold front. Now, I'd be remiss if I didn't use the water vapor satellite picture. Of course, this is my favorite tool. As you can see, the entire pattern is set up right in front of us. Here, of course, is our negative NAO block, well established. Now, here's Sandy, intensifying, still a warm core low here, but clearly starting to transition more and more into a subtropical storm. Here's the disturbance right here that's going to capture our subtropical storm and basically drive it right into the New Jersey coast. As these two interact, you're going to see this storm rapidly intensify. And we'll know that because a lot of this blue here is going to expand in coverage. And you're going to start to see a lot more oranges and reds on the water vapor satellite picture, illustrating very strong dynamic lifting. This storm, right now at 960 millibars, possibly could get down to 950 millibars, if not lower, as the storm starts to interact with this cold polar air and really bomb out over the Atlantic and then drive into the New Jersey coast. As I said before, this is a dangerous situation and you need to prepare now. Let's go to the model guides. Now, at this point, you can use the European model guides, the GFS, it really doesn't matter. I'm going to point out what I feel are the most important dynamics of this storm. Now, here we are for this morning. Our two disturbances are separated. Here's our tropical system. Here's our polar disturbance over here. As we move in towards this afternoon, I think our hurricane is going to continue to intensify and deepen. It's going to be sitting over the Gulf Stream, very warm waters. The shear, I think, is going to decrease just a little bit. But clearly it has the same type of dynamics that we're seeing right now with a dry slot developing over just to the east of the Bahamas, typical of a subtropical storm. As we move forward to this evening, look at this. This storm is just continuing to explode and basically intensify further. I would not be surprised again if we're down to 959, maybe 955 millibars as the storm intensifies. The pressure is going to fluctuate until we start to see that phase, and then you're going to see some real intensification. Meanwhile, precipitation is expanding northward. By tomorrow morning, let's jump right to the crux here. By tomorrow morning, we're going to start to see showers starting to expand. Those showers will continue to expand in coverage. Again, light at first, but then increase in coverage and become steadily heavy through the day tomorrow. For New York City, it's going to be a little bit more of a delay because the storm, of course, is further south. But if you're in the Philadelphia metro, you're going to start to see more steady rain, likely by the late morning hours. Here we are by basically, let's see, Sunday afternoon, Sunday morning, should I say? Okay, here we are moving through Sunday afternoon. Here we are, perfect place. All right. Here we have the heavy rain expanding throughout the entire Philadelphia metropolitan area. Rain's building into New York City. Our low starts to become captured Sunday afternoon. Notice how now the 500 millibar pattern is one trough here, one negatively tilted trough. And then as we move forward to the evening hours on Sunday night, we start to see a full phase start to develop, and look at our low just bomb out. Now, again, we're going to have tropical characteristics here and subtropical characteristics. Because of the intense lifting developing over the southern mid-Atlantic, we're going to have some sinking air developing over the New York City and Philadelphia metropolitan area on Sunday night. So we'll see lighter rainfall, especially if you're in Connecticut, the Hudson River Valley, and portions of Long Island. The heavier rainfall is going to be focused more in the Philadelphia metro, central New Jersey, moving into northern New Jersey slowly but surely. By the time we get into about 1 a.m. on Monday, our storm continues to bomb out, continues to intensify. The heaviest rainfall again is focused over central and southern New Jersey. Winds are rapidly increasing throughout the entire metropolitan area of New York City and Philadelphia. Winds are anywhere from 25 to 50 miles per hour with higher gusts. Our phase is starting to really take hold now. Our storm starts to incredibly intensify and really get its act together. And as we head in towards Monday morning at 8 a.m., our storm blows up off of the mid-Atlantic coast. Likely pressure around 950 some odd millibars. A complete phase is established. Rainfall has developed throughout the entire New York City and Philadelphia metropolitan area, with heavy rain from basically the New York City metro down through, the Delmarva Peninsula. Very heavy rain. And of course, that rainfall is going to lead to rainfall amounts pushing well over 4 inches over southern New Jersey. Those rainfall amounts will expand northward as our storm gets pulled in and basically continues to intensify over the next several hours. The full phase is basically established here. Here's our storm completely bombed out here on Monday afternoon. it's just an incredibly impressive storm. And as we move forward in time, Monday into Tuesday, the storm makes landfall somewhere between Cape May, New Jersey, and Sandy Hook, New Jersey. That's where I'm placing it. So your best potential for landfall is probably around Atlantic County, New Jersey. But that's regardless. You're going to be impacted by this storm significantly, whether you are in Connecticut, New York City, New Jersey, Philadelphia. Just very bad, nasty conditions throughout the entire northern Mid-Atlantic can be expected as the storm slips back into Pennsylvania. Watch out for the cold air that wraps around this storm. Do not be surprised on Tuesday afternoon if you see potential for even a little bit of snow mixing in with this storm, as you have a very dynamic lifting factors developing here, and that changeover could happen. So, to wrap things up, what can we expect? Well, for one, this storm's going to be moving through during a full moon period, during high tides, very strong winds. Coastal flooding is going to be a major problem from basically Connecticut all the way down through the New Jersey coast. Rainfall amounts will range anywhere from 5 to as much as 10 inches. We're going to have to watch out to see how the mesoscale dynamics, the small scale dynamics, interact with this storm. But basically, a lot of heavy rain starting tomorrow night on through Tuesday. Of course, in wind damage is going to be a serious problem, ranging anywhere from 25 to 50 miles per hour with higher gusts, potentially well over 70 miles per hour. I would not be surprised if someone ends up with a 100 mile per hour gust wind out of this. And finally, expect power outages, flood damage, wind damage. This is a serious storm, ladies and gentlemen, and it's going to be one for the record books. Please be prepared. Of course, I'm going to have live coverage of this storm event throughout this weekend into this heart of this storm. You can follow the latest weather information at nynjpaweather.com and nynjpaweather on Twitter and Facebook. This is, of course, a Storm Surge LLC group. Have a wonderful day. Stay safe out there. See ya.